All right, guys, welcome back. This is Four Guys,
One Film.
This week, we did one of the greatest movies that was probably ever done for the martial arts genre, Kung Fu Hustle. If you haven't seen Kung Fu Hustle, some slapstick combined with some great Kung Fu.
And some wushu.
A shit, like, really hard to comprehend story, but it doesn't matter. It was fun. It was engaging. We had a lot of laughs, maybe even some tearjerker moments. We're going to find out. But getting into the movie, one of the best things that I really want to like talk about as far as the beginning, like the completely unimpactful setting that they set just with that different crocodile gang boss that they set. Like I was like going into it like, whoa, what is this? Who is this serious character? And then just to kill everybody off and have an army of random axemen coming in. It was just a really weird and different way to ever set up a movie that I've ever had. I don't know for you guys if you felt like anything in particular as far as any other movie you can relate that to.
Nothing that ridiculous.
I think what's that one like?
Master of Disguise.
No, not Master of Disguise.
How if we can ever bring a Master of Disguise?
But you know what? Also, please read. Please go look at that. Fucking, it's a great podcast. Yeah, it's good. We got good reviews on
episodes.
That. Fucking
George loved it. It was a wonderful movie.
George absolutely in the garbage. Just
before we continue, let's just settle. George is like has a opinion. Okay. Okay. Let's get this out of the way. Okay. That's how we're gonna start this.
Oh my god!
Let's cut that out.
You can't start it off hard R. You can make fun of me all you want, but like Jesus Christ,
I'm making fun of one specific person right here.
Kung Fu Hustle, goddammit.
Okay, back to Kung Fu Hustle.
Back to Kung Fu Hustle. Settings. It was so weird. Like I love that this movie had like what felt like very obviously designed sets. Like even when you were in the actual like slums, if you will, it felt like you could tell that they built this set in the middle of a gigantic field. So, like, I don't know. For me, I visualized, like, what the fuck? Who would have a working tiny economy and, like, building in the middle of, like, nowhere? Like, it kind of gave me, like, Courage the Cowardly Dog vibes.
You know what it was? It was 1940s.
Exactly.
It was 1940s Chinese communism. That's what happened there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, 100%. And then there's just the idea, too, of even having, like, one random-ass casino / like area where the gangs were working in, but no actual like visible settings besides a small notion of a police station. It was so like bizarre. It didn't lend anything to the actual story, but it felt like that was so intentionally great. Like, let me tell you that the story isn't the most important thing in this movie. It is how funny it's going to make you feel, how ridiculous it's going to make you feel. It's something that I don't feel like we can do nowadays.
Going back to what I found with a similar movie, I think it's like closely related to like a Monty Python type of movie.
A Monty Python.
There
That's
you
a
go.
good point.
Have you actually seen a Monty Python movie?
I've seen a bunch of clips of it because it just never called to mind.
You can't compare and then not actually see the film.
George, did you see the fucking film?
Yes, I did. I didn't enjoy it that much. I don't know.
What's it about?
I don't know. The fucking medieval times.
Exactly,
They're
bitch. You saw the clips
on
that I
a
did.
quest.
Don't be fucking telling. Don't be lying.
The Life of Brian.
It is
Holy
but
Grail.
a flesh wound.
But all the clips I've seen about like
I haven't seen
the Monty Python, it just have been slapstick comedy jokes, have been just like gag jokes, and there's not really a story to be told. I feel like I haven't lost anything like that I haven't seen in clips or just like, oh, why watch this movie? And I don't like, and that it's the same thing I think with Kung Fu Hustle. There's not really a story going on. Like the story starts off with like two dudes that are supposed to be like evil doers, but they're just like weak as shit, can't do
fucking
anything.
Wannabes.
They're fucking retards basically, like fucking.
But let's get into why it works though, because like for me, you know, I can't come up with why Hollywood thinks that these movies don't work anymore. And maybe it's because, you know, you watch some, like we even talked about Master of Disguise having some issues with like sexist jokes that they thought in their head at the time it was actually doing the opposite. It was supposed to be making it better by promoting like different body standards or whatever. But obviously here they talk about fairies. They talk about like, you know, make very obvious jokes to like men's sexuality and shit like that. But, and genuinely, I think that's actually surprisingly the only real issue that they covered that was probably wouldn't work today. I'm trying to think of any other examples. Like
they were being perverted a little bit. I feel
the perversion, like peeping Tom and stuff. Very good points. I mean, like that's something that I feel like Hollywood will still kind
of landlord trying to fuck all the chicks.
All the chicks, yeah. And then like getting his ass beat by his wife. Like, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, also the smoking probably wouldn't be okay because she was smoking like.
Also, they kept calling her a fat. Like, like I don't think you can't just throw that in a movie now.
Yeah, now actually, I still think they kind of do that sometimes, where it's like it's meant to be offensive. offensive.
Like, okay,
Well, I mean, like Talladega Nights, right? We saw that, and that's the same thing. Really raunchy, really just kind of like toxic masculinity, all those different things. But they're not going to make Talladega Nights nowadays.
Well, that's what's funny is like you have movies like Killers of the Flower Moon. You have movies like The Irishman, where because they're timepieces and because it's common for that time to like objectify women, disrespect men, whatever it is, like a race, it's fine. Which I get it that we're trying to say like funny shouldn't be derogatory, funny shouldn't be sexist, funny shouldn't be racist. I get it.
I mean,
but
I think you can pull it off in some instances. Like the Django, like it's
Just
Django.
God damn it!
That
He
was-
says it in the fucking
that
movie.
was-
Is silent. He
Dude.
says it himself.
dude, this guy
Alexis, besides
all
the
day
fucking point.
He can't pronounce shit,
Look,
can he?
Django. It's still comical and it's very racist
Sorry,
and
the D
fucked
is
up.
silent.
And
It
somehow
is.
they
It
still
is.
make it
Like,
work.
Django's actually a good example of like how
The D is silent,
you
damn it.
can say certain things in a comedy movie or in an action movie and it'd be okay. But I feel like Django's still old enough where they were getting away with it, and I still feel like, to Isaac's point, Hollywood's getting away with it, like getting away from it,
But
and it's frustrating.
My thing is too is just like, why is Hollywood getting away from it? I don't think it's like necessarily a bad thing, because it's just like, okay, am I making fun of you directly? Am I making fun of like I feel most of the time when you're doing slapstick comedy, you're making fun of like a specific character that's in that thing that's also making fun of that fucking like it's I'm like, who am I offending? Like I don't give a fuck if I see a movie that's offending Mexicans or Latinos in any way.
Well,
I'm like, it's like fuck it. I think it's funny. It's like, if you really care about them, it's like, get your head out of your ass.
For me, I think the big thing too is like, even like from a race perspective, I was gonna say a different example, but I think this is better. Like from
I
a
use
race
Latino
perspective,
because, like, you know what,
because we are Latinos,
We're
exactly.
Latino.
So from like a race perspective, there was a Latino joke, right?
Yeah.
And it's used to just bring down Latinos, and it's used to say like we're greasy or whatever, we're not, like, it's stupid. But if you want to make a joke that is funny but depicts Latinos still as hardworking, like, which is what we really are, or it depicts us in a light that's good, like this movie, for all of the catcalling and like the kind of like him chasing, like the landlord being like a womanizer, like trying to get whatever he could from any girl, it still depicted women in a very high standard. Like all the women would stand up to him when he was being a perv, and then his own landlady was like, fuck you, and she was one of the biggest badasses in the movie too. Like, and that's where it's like, well, you can still make fun of people slightly as long as you're not just bringing them down.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I wanted to take a step back. I'm like, what do you guys want them to bring back? Like, all the fucking toxicity and, like,
Yeah,
that shit?
of course
all
not.
the offensiveness, man.
Like, okay,
no, right?
no
It's the
filter.
good stuff where
No
it's like,
filter.
let's go into this point right here. We've all probably seen the Chappelle Show at least once in our lifetime, right?
3
course.
times, maybe.
yeah.
I don't think if you're the asshole that's going into there and like, hey, we need to cancel Chappelle because he's honestly saying something fucking hilarious, right? In that show, what are you trying to prove here, man? Like, what? Like, come on.
Yeah, I mean, but there's still like,
It's like-
when it's clearly comedy and when it's like comedians like Key and Peele, like they get away with a lot of shit, and that's pretty recent. Like it's not too far off.
It feels
Yeah.
like what, like 2016 actually.
It was pretty
Yeah.
tame, though. It was pretty tame.
Uh,
Compared to
I
Dave
don't
Chappelle.
Compare
Well,
Chappelle.
to
Chappelle
Chappelle,
would
yeah.
go crazy. Chappelle still goes crazy. I mean, like, I'm not gonna agree and
But
say
they
that
do
he
hit some
does
of
it.
those topics though, but in a very like almost sophisticated, not like lowbrow
okay, no,
comedy.
Chappelle. Okay, if you're saying Chappelle's sophisticated,
No,
there's
like they do it in a way where it's not offensive, but it's still hitting those really
Right.
hard to hit topics and doing it well, and like
Yeah.
presenting them in a way where it's comedic, but it's not offensive.
Okay, George.
I wanna-
But before we get, it's like, I think if you are that much up your ass that regardless of it's offending some type of somebody, and you can't laugh at a joke that's truly fucking hilarious, right? It doesn't matter if it's offending you and like in any which way, and you just like, I'm not laughing at this because of what it said, and in your head you're laughing your ass off, you're a fucking dick. Okay.
Yeah, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I can
because
see people looking at it that way. I really don't give a shit. Honestly,
Yeah.
I'm like, I think it's going to be funny
you're-
if I enjoy
Like,
it
you're
and
too
it
much
makes
in
me
your
laugh.
ass. Come on, dude. Like, how are you gonna even interact with like?
Are you talking to me specifically,
No,
or are
I'm
you
talking-
saying those people?
I'm
that
talking
are-
about a generalization. I'm not
I
What do you
think
mean, those people?
an important.
those people that get offended, Alexis. That's it.
What do you mean those? I like how Alexis, the Asian guy in the room, is the one who's like, Kung Fu Hustle. What do you mean those?
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway,
yeah, I saw that.
it's important to say this. Comedy is subjective. I know some people won't like some shit, but we just feel, I think here we're all agreeing that I think we can loosen the reins a little bit. It'd be nice to see movies like Kung Fu Hustle come up a little bit, especially getting more into it. It's the combination. I love,
or even closer like Ricky Bobby, which like it's talking about a subject, and unfortunately, people that love NASCAR are in the South.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, I want to bring something up because you guys are like, oh, I wish we had more Kung Fu Hustle, right?
Yeah.
Bro, that's not even a fucking American movie. They don't care about what we think is offensive.
Yeah, but
they don't give a shit. The Chinese are doing their own thing.
I know,
You're
but
right,
Are they still making movies like that over there?
international markets are important.
I don't watch their stuff.
I read a lot of Mawas and stuff like that, like Chinese stuff. Like they're doing shit like that.
International markets are still so
but
important.
The Chinese market is way bigger than ours.
No, I'm not saying it's not. Of course, the amount of population.
Yeah.
Do you think this movie was like targeting international, like the West as well? Or
Oh
was
no,
it just,
I think it was just I think they're just trying to literally make a funny movie. They're not targeting any. Yeah.
Well, they made a fucking hit because this movie is fantastic, and it's like it's murdered over here.
Yeah, and I mean, I wanted to try to transition topics a little bit. So slapstick, we talk about how we want to bring it back, but I think it's important to like talk about the incorporation of this type of comedy with something that also is very near and dear to my heart, which is martial arts movies in particular.
Yeah.
Like you and I, George, talked a little bit about
Why?
Ip Man. Well, because it's different, right? Like I have a movie like Ip Man, right? That's also kung fu. You know, it's actually not kung fu. That one is Wing Chun, but it's also Asian martial
Wing
arts.
Chun.
I thought that's what I said, but anyway.
You're busting a George right now, man.
Either way,
Are you really gonna fucking try to get him for the
but
pronunciation of this?
it's so
He's
it was
the martial
really
arts
good
in this
martial
room.
arts, right? And this didn't sacrifice its martial arts just to make jokes. Like,
which is so great because
It
it's
is.
like they literally said we're gonna make the action sequences like if we were making a fucking kung fu film, and like
Absolutely.
they did it so fucking well.
And we're also gonna have other action sequences that are absolutely fucking stupid. Like, you can't tell me that the sequence
CGI
of
in this
him
is
running
insane.
away from the landlady, and then like all of that was so absolutely ridiculous, but like funny. It lended like that's what I like. Like some of my favorite martial arts movies do great martial arts, but it's just serious. You know, the best example I can give you that really was kind of like this was Drunken Fist, like with Jackie Chan.
Drunken Master?
Drunken Master, where he did practice Drunken Fist. Thank you. Like, that was a funny movie just because of the elements of alcohol. But I really feel like we can talk a lot here about the martial arts in this movie. So I don't know what your guys' favorite parts when it comes to it, what you guys liked and what you guys enjoyed.
Yeah. Well, I feel like you guys are saying, there's not a lot of movies like this, but, you know, there are, like, roots, right? Roots in like the Jackie Chan films, right? Like everything that he did with martial arts was always infused with comedy, and he's the one that really like kind of popularized that over there. And so this obviously took it to an extreme where it kind of has like a Looney Tunes aspect to it, you know? And I don't think anything's even lived up to it since.
Yeah. Martial arts and comedy nowadays, and including, in my opinion, honestly, Jackie Chan, is all injury related. That's what it's like. Three Stooges, like someone's getting hurt.
Well, I don't know. I maybe this might be a weird movie from you guys, but have you guys ever seen the movie Kung Pao?
Oh my god!
You know,
with the white guy, right? This isn't like a white guy.
It's a white guy. It's like
it's bad. It's like a parody. Yeah.
It's a parody of this movie. I think it's hilarious, and they go wee oh wee. I think maybe we review it on Rotten Tomatoes.
I'm gonna put that on my list. That's how
on Rotten Tomatoes it has 2 out of 10.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know it's great.
Oh, dude, it's so like.
So it's gonna be another, like master disguise 10 out of 10 for us, right, George?
So,
dude,
this is gonna be cringy.
no, but I'm like, there's other movies that have done it. And I
But
remember.
it's hard to say that one though, because that's a parody movie, like you said, isn't it? Technically, so
Technically, I would consider it a parody movie, but at the same time, like it did have like a lot of funny shit. Like it made fun of like the interactions that people like in old Japanese movies would take they would say like 3 words and it would still be going.
Yeah.
He converted 2 hamsters into nunchucks.
Yeah.
Like he was a baby that was born with kung fu powers, and like it's a funny ass movie. I remember watching it like when I was super young, and I'm like, this kind of reminds me of it. And
Another deep cut for you guys to check out if you like in this one.
Cut. That's a very deep
but
cut.
going back to what you were saying, Alexis, with Kung Fu Hustle.
No, but I was just remembering too. But the thing that about Kung Fu Hustle is that the martial arts isn't funny.
No,
they take the martial arts wushu elements to like they take it very seriously.
Yeah.
They do it very well, and then the comedy is just the interactions, obviously on the side, and that's something that I can say I don't think Jackie Chan did as well. Because I mean his fights were funny. I mean they were serious, but then they were also like
he'd have to use like a chair to like protect himself and do the splits in accident.
Yeah, like a lot of like I think maybe like Chaplin influence. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
also like Jackie wasn't trying to make a funny movie. It was still like it was portrayed as a kind of like semi-serious movie that had funny elements.
I agree with that.
Right.
And and like Kung Fu Hustle was just, I feel like it's comedy from as soon as the fucking movie starts.
Yeah, just the fact that there is no, daughter of a high political figure that he has to save. He's not a super important cop. He's like none of the, like, honestly,
nobody was a serious character.
No one was the protagonist, in my opinion, until like literally the last 10, 15 minutes.
Who's the protagonist in your opinion?
Like, well, the protagonist ends up being Sung, I think is his name, or Sing. Sorry, Sing ends up being the protagonist because he's the one who is the chosen one, right? The one who's, I guess, embedded with kung fu from the day he's born. So all he had to do was get hit, and then.
But he's an asshole from the start.
Yeah, he's an asshole. So he's like, I thought antagonist.
No, he was an asshole because he got peed on and bullied.
You know,
that would make anyone an asshole.
No, I mean, some of us are into that.
He broke that girl's lollipop.
Not to,
I know George is a BDSM.
Hey, look, don't yuck my yum.
PDSM.
Don't get me wrong. Like golden showers, anyone that's into them, not to put them down.
We're not gonna yuck your yum on this podcast.
Every time I hit Alexis, and George, I know they get hard.
Him or you?
Nah, man, mostly George.
Yeah, mostly I.
I'm a bit of a masochist. What can I say?
Let's go.
But going back into it, yeah, kung fu in this movie is fucking great, and the fact I loved that they were doing hand to hand. There was so much depth to it. Like one of the masters at the beginning was like kick focused. The other master was like iron fist focused.
The iron rings were so fucking cool because he looks like such a fucking dweeb. He's like, this guy ain't shit.
He was a tailor.
He's nothing,
dude. I had no fucking idea that was gonna happen when I watched this for the first time. I had no like that's what I think was so fucking great about this movie. Is like it's just shock. You're like, what?
Hey, remember the scene when he's like, all right, somebody in the crowd, who wants to fight me? Who wants to fight me? You.
He chose the shortest guy. He stands up. Dude.
Yeah, and then he chooses. He's like, you short guy over there, you're looking at me funny. He stands up because he was sitting down. Yeah. And he's like, I said no.
Yeah, you'll be too easy. You'll be too easy. And then he chose like the old man, but the old man when you fucking like how to beat his ass, dude.
Yeah. It's like those are the things that are the best about this movie is elements of like, you're not going to take that scene seriously because you know how stupid it is, so you can laugh unequivocally. You can let go.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of movies that let you let go like that in the middle of a movie.
And they're kind of making fun of people without saying it.
Yeah.
Like it's just reacting to it. And I think that's maybe what we want, right? Where it's not like, we want to hear somebody say, that whatever. We just want to be able to fucking laugh at shit.
And I think if you guys look up, what do you think is the most iconic scene in this movie? Because I feel like there's quite a few, but to me the one that stands out the most. And before I say that, what do you guys think?
I know what it is. I'm like 99%.
What is it?
I think it's when Sing is running away from the landlady.
That's what I was thinking too. That's what I was thinking too.
It's such an iconic fucking scene.
It's fucking amazing.
It's so hilarious.
Like that's what I was saying is action in this movie was also greatly done. Like you had comedy where it was
like right now I'm like laughing.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Just thinking about it.
Just thinking about fucking him going underneath the truck while she's like fucking twirling in the air.
She's still smoking.
And she's still smoking. But
sandals.
You have different types of comedy with just the scenes of like
her
action
like this.
They're going so slow. And honestly, dude, I watched it this last time. I watched it at 1.5 speed just because I wanted to check out what that scene would look like accelerated. It was even funnier just watching how fast they're moving.
But I feel like that's maybe like the comedic like image, but then when it comes to the action, I always think of like the fucking the palm on the ground. There's like a lot of like striking imagery in this movie.
Absolutely.
As we continue on with our description of this movie, we need to self-promote ourselves a little bit.
Right.
Please follow us on all of our platforms. Please interact with us. We want to interact with you guys. I'm telling you right now, if you guys send us the very first email, you will get a gift from us. We're really trying to provide content that you guys like.
Still waiting for that email.
So interact with us. We'll figure it out, or eventually we'll even lower our standards. Whoever fucking interacts with us on like one of our TikToks, we'll get you guys some gift that I think at least $100 value. So
holy shit!
Oh my god!
No, I don't know about
that.
What do we
agree with that?
I don't know about
that. That's $25 each, dude.
That's crazy, bro.
George, you've never had $25. Let's talk about that.
That's exactly why I'm complaining. What are you on about?
This is gonna come out of my behalf.
George is like the characters in the movie. He hasn't paid his landlady in 3 months. Okay, we need to think about this.
And I'm the one running away, and then while she's just fucking.
I'm the landlady. I'm the fucking landlady running after you.
Dude, you know what's funny is that I was going back into this as I was thinking about this movie. this like straight up feels a little like Kung Fu Panda-esque too. Like just like the idea.
Because they're both Chinese. Wow,
dude, I don't even see race. I didn't notice that. No, well, the fact that they're both Kung Fu.
George's the
it's Kung Fu Hustle. Yeah. That's the only thing I related.
Oh my God,
they both movies start with Kung Fu.
George, do you only see race? Like, is that because like nobody like nobody even made that connection? That's like crazy.
Yeah, man, that's crazy.
I honestly
taste the rainbow, baby. Any race,
yeah,
any color.
That's what any man.
Any man bussy.
But like I love that. Like it almost feels like this should be a cartoon movie. You know, like you mentioned Looney Tunes.
Well, basically it's because the CGI is just so fucking outrageous.
Well, that was probably the best CGI China could provide at the time too.
Well, it wasn't bad though. It was like
when did this movie come out, Andre? Can you give me a quick?
It was like 04, no?
Yeah, it was.
This was good CGI for 04.
No, it was fucking great, dude. There were certain scenes where I was like, "What? How did they do that?"
This is better CGI than Master of Disguise.
No, I don't know.
Whoa,
that's pretty crazy.
So much better.
A lot of that was practical. Okay,
I said CGI, not practical effects. We're talking about two different things here, player.
I don't know.
As a real moviegoer, you should know.
That's fair.
But I mean, I think
it had better practical effects than fucking any of the Mission Impossible movies.
Amateur Alexis, dude. Gotta know the difference.
All right, hey, say Django right. Say Django right.
Django
or
Havasu.
But you guys are ridiculous. I love it. Going back into this, characters. I think for me, one of the biggest things that was really cool about this movie is the fact that people look so fucking normal.
Yeah.
Like we talked about how.
Yeah, there wasn't like one single gorgeous person.
Well, even actually, I'll argue that Singh was pretty towards the end, and same with like his love interest, the deaf woman.
Yeah.
But that's normal though. Like, what place doesn't have any people?
No, I know, but like, it didn't feel like there's this one absolutely.
Yeah, it didn't feel like they hired the hottest actresses or actors.
When one of the fucking martial arts dudes that got killed, he's pretty hot.
Yeah, but I mean, but they didn't portray him that way until he was fighting.
Like that. Badass.
And even same with honestly the guy who was the tailor who they kept calling him a fairy. When he was like he was wearing
That's not funny.
He was wearing red underwear and they were like feminizing him like crazy, but then when he took his shirt off like from fighting, like he was like, especially for a guy who looked like he was in his 40s, like he was pretty built. Like you could tell this was a dude who genuinely knew how to do martial arts and was strong enough.
Yeah.
And like that's what I liked is it showed really normal people all throughout the movie.
Right.
They actually did the makeup effects to make him uglier or more normal.
Shit, probably.
Like,
actually, I think when I was a kid, I remember thinking that it's like, whoa, these martial artists are just regular dudes. Like they don't look like all ripped or whatever.
Yeah, none of the like. It is tough to see movies where they're all Bruce Lee or they're all like Donnie Yen or they're all Jackie Chan. It's like how many of the people who are actual like fighters in the world look like that? Have you seen the Diaz brothers? Diaz brothers are fucking ugly, but God, we love them. You know what I'm saying?
You know who's also ugly? Keanu Reeves.
Whoa.
Hey, I'm saying it out.
What? Get the fuck
What are you
out of
saying,
here.
That's
dude?
crazy.
Current day Keanu
on the
Reeves.
Keanu,
you're saying some bullshit right now.
Current day Keanu looks ugly.
Oh, dude, I think you were gonna get canceled, bro.
Dude, I was like,
I don't think he looks.
All-
I think he just looks older.
Point Break, dude. Fuck.
I don't like what fucked me up is he has a gizzard now. And I feel like,
well, that's why he has a beard, man.
I know, but it doesn't. It just makes it look flatter.
Yeah, but how old is he now? Like fucking.
He's like almost 60.
Yeah, but
dude.
okay, but our dad.
How dare he be an old man?
But my dad's like 68, and he doesn't have a gizzard like Keanu.
Yeah, my dad's pretty chiseled too.
Yeah.
All right,
Like
fuck your guys.
George, does your dad have a fucking gizzard like Keanu? And Keanu's like skinny. He's not even in good shape. I think he's just like.
Yeah, my dad's getting a little chubbier, so I'm like, you know.
Nick, your dad doesn't have a fucking gizzard. Your dad,
My dad's got like a triple chin, brother.
No, he has a triple. No, okay. Your dad could have a triple chin and still have a jawline, but this guy has zero jawline. And like, if I see him like when he was 25,
we can't all be Alexis' dad, dude. You know, my godfather. Oh my god.
Yeah.
all of a sudden he's your
not
fucking.
even
When's the
me.
last time you said hi to him?
All right, you know what?
When's the last time you
Andre,
said to
Alexis, time for you to develop your Oedipus complex. How hot is your dad?
We're getting psychological now. Oedipus?
Yeah, brother.
You're crazy, dude. You can't believe you're bringing my dad into this like that. My dad is a very attractive man. I think so.
Hey, someone's got to do it.
No.
We're doing the Lord's work here.
Like father, like son.
So I hope so.
All right, back into Kung Fu Hustle, guys. Scenes. Favorite scenes, best parts of the movie. I want to start getting into that a little bit more. I want to jump right in. We talked about it a little bit already. That montage of them chasing each other with Singh and the landlady.
I think that's everybody's favorite scene, but like besides that one, because there's a lot of scenes that we can go over. And
yeah,
like
let's do it.
And that one's also like, again, that's why I wanted to bring that up in the earlier, where that's like, what's the most iconic scene? And it's gonna be that.
For me, like, all right, I feel like there's so many that we're gonna agree on, so I'm just gonna throw one out there that I'm just kind of like, what did not expect at all. So when he meets the deaf girl again and he robs her,
Yeah.
and then it's like a whole scene where it's like, oh my god, this is gonna be wholesome, and then he just slaps the shit out of my fucking lollipop. I was like, what the fuck, dude?
Do you want to know what I hoped from that scene when I first watched that? The only thing that I wanted.
I thought he was gonna turn another leaf and become a good person.
I thought what he was gonna do, and I thought what was genuinely gonna happen was that she wasn't gonna recognize him until he got beat up in front of her and somebody pissed on his face. And then she was going to have, like, if I was director, that's what I would have done. I would have been like, that's the moment.
You would have seen her sniffing?
No, but it genuinely made me sad. He was like, oh my god, you realize it's the same deaf girl that he saved years and years ago. And then he immediately,
absolutely.
Fuck you, bitch.
I'm not weak.
Oh my god.
That was a great scene. All those interactions, even like where they first stole ice cream from her and he's just like, and then when they finally saw her again, were just great. And it was just like, the frustration of her trying to figure out like how do I communicate to this guy when I'm deaf? Like I'm this chick.
Signing. It's like, oh shit.
And he's just like, this stupid girl's doing gang signs. We're not in a gang yet, you fucking
All right,
idiot.
Alex, what's your favorite scene?
I'm just thinking about that scene when they're trying to fuck with the landlady.
With the snakes?
With the snakes, and he like throws a knife and he throws the handle and the blade stuck in the other guy.
And then he takes it out. He's like, oh my bad. He
puts it back in.
And then with the snakes right after. And he comes out with huge lips.
Yeah.
And shit. Well, I got confused with the significance of him all randomly. How did he end up with the fucking? I'm trying to remember how he ended up on the traffic signal with the palm strikes when he was frustrated. Oh, because that was like right after.
I think because he was just in pain. He was just in pain, right? Yeah.
All right, Nick, what's your favorite scene?
So we all talked about which one we loved, and like to get less funny, more serious. The scenes where it's the landlord and landlady fighting against what was his name? The Beast.
Oh, the Beast, the Frog Man.
Yeah, when they were fighting inside of specifically the casino, I thought at first I thought it was just really cool martial arts and I really liked it. But then when they incorporated the bell, it was really cool, like small callback for that scene when they were at first I thought her ringing the bell was trying to like signify like, oh, she's gonna give up. But then, like, little by little, I wasn't understanding, like, why is she slapping it? Why is she cracking it? Why is she breaking it? And when she used it as a megaphone, it was so genius.
Yeah.
And then the thing that I also loved is the reality of how the Beast acted as a villain. Like, he gave up twice, and both times that he gave up, whether it was that scene or the one when he was finally fighting Singh, he completely used it to get an upper hand and cheat. Because, like, his whole thing is, like, no one said we were fighting fair. No one said we were fighting with honor. I wanted to kill you.
True.
And so if I have to lie to you, I will lie to you. Like, the amount of times you have these quote-unquote honorable fucking villains, it's stupid. Like, how do you go from being like, I'm going to nuke the world to being like, let me give you an opportunity to kill me right now? Like, no.
I'm going to tell you how to stop me.
Had you had the ability to disarm this nuclear warhead, this is how you do it.
I'm glad that you're right. Now that you bring it up, I'm like, that is such a big trope that happens in so many movies. Like, you're the fucking Bond villain, and he's like, I'm going to tell you how I'm going to murder you and give you enough time to fucking
He did the opposite. He was like, I surrender. Don't worry. You're cool. Just to stab you. That was great.
No, that was solid.
So I love that scene. What about you, Isaac?
Mine was with the harpists.
Oh, that was
fucking
brutal.
Well, the fact that they killed one of the martial artists first really set the tone for how strong these guys were.
They're a real deal.
They right away, and then just showing them I thought I was really worried when I saw the cat. I was like, oh no, and then you just see them slice the cat, and you're like, damn. But at least they didn't show it in person. That probably would have enraged some people, me included, because I love my cats. But it was funny to see like them set up like in a silly way, but also in a serious way. Like, these guys are threats. Like, they're not fucking nobodies,
It was also a threat, but there's fucking knives flying out of the instrument, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And then Gator's like, no, they're not actual knives. It's just the personification of, like, the sound waves. And I'm like, no, motherfucker, these are fucking knives. There's no way.
You're like the personification. No, well, that's the funny part, is the personification of the sound waves with the knives. I can kind of see it. We watch Demon Slayer. I get it. You fuck with the Wind Hashira just as much as I do. But But what was funny is when all of a sudden it wasn't just knives, it was fucking skeletal warriors.
Yeah. I'm like, it's not a personification anymore. There's a fucking
demons out
Mongol warrior.
And I love that they did that. They were like, there's some legit martial arts, and there's also like like we're not gonna.
This is sorcery.
We're not just as much as we're not gonna address why these people run the way they do and so fucking fast, because that's not legit martial arts at all, or why she has a lion roar. We're not gonna address all this stuff.
I've seen you run like
You're
that.
right. I'm not a. I don't have a lion roar black belt, so that's my fault.
Yeah.
You know her demon kung fu techniques?
I don't.
That's fucked up.
I
That's a
also
different school.
think it's funny how like they integrate.
Korean, you're taekwondo.
Well, I don't know what it is with like a lot of these, like whether it's anime or cartoons like this, they always announce their move. Like it has a name, which is like interesting that they integrate.
Oh,
that,
like Tiger Palm.
Yeah, and it's just like what the fuck?
Well, to be fair, this time they weren't announcing the moves; they were telling each other, "Whoa, she's using this."
Oh,
move.
okay, yeah.
So that was good.
Well, but I know, but in most animes you see that they're like fucking
Shadow Clone Jutsu,
Rasengan. Yeah,
it's just like what the fuck?
1,000 years of death.
Exactly, 1,000 years of death. That's my favorite for sure. But yeah,
I have a different technique for that one.
Okay, yeah, I'm sure you do.
Of course he
but
does.
It's a full fucking fist, and it's gonna leave a hole in you. But anyway, I love that segment. Thank you guys for sharing with me all your guys' favorite scenes. I think before we end and before we can kind of transition, the last thing I want to talk about, probably the only real downfall to this movie to some extent, is characters. We have some impactful characters. I think the landlady really sticks out. Mm-hmm. I think Singh is and like Singh, honestly.
Can you see if she's done any other movies that maybe?
Yeah,
she deserved like an Oscar, honestly.
She really killed it. I mean, and I'm pretty sure like
Chinese films.
I'm hoping she got a lot of credit over there, especially.
She does a lot of kung fu movies.
She's still alive.
That's great. I think
dude, she was iconic.
She was iconic, but I think obviously it's a good thing with slapstick kind of movies like this to not have like every character stand out and be super impactful, because you kind of have to be ready for them to die and mess around just to really like add to the goofiness and silliness of it all, as well as the action of it all. But it did feel like just the fact like that Singh wasn't really brought up as a protagonist until the end. Like even though he was given a redemption arc, it's like we never even really rooted for him. You know,
I thought he was gonna die.
Yeah,
I was.
You know what? I think what made this movie incredible. If Donnie Yen was in it.
Oh shit! Of course.
He would. I feel like.
I don't know if they had a.
I think Jackie Chan
would have taken away from it.
I feel like Jackie Chan would have done great
because I don't know if
Jackie Chan is like very, very good. Like we were talking about silly movies. I also thought about Jet Li when he played the Monkey King, Sung Wukong. I forgot which one was that one in. He's like the one that's stuck in the staff.
Wukong, Son Goku?
No, it's I forget what movie. I think it's not Fearless.
It's not The Mummy 3.
No, yeah, it's actually The Mummy 4. Yo, Tom Cruise, that's who it was.
Tom Cruise ruined that franchise.
Yeah,
sorry.
It wasn't
even a franchise. Did they even launch that bitch? Like, I think it was just one movie and done.
There was 3 mummies. What are you talking about? Brendan Fraser, my guy.
No. I'm talking
the
about
second when they try with Tom Cruise.
When they try to redo it.
DOA.
I think he's saying he killed it.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of really like I kind of like that there wasn't any giant like
Forbidden Kingdom.
Forbidden Kingdom.
Thank you. Forbidden Kingdom was the one that I was thinking about. Where this one was a really good example too, because it had him play Sun Wukong, which was silly, as well as Jackie Chan playing a silly character, but it was still like nowhere near the level of slapstick that this had. Like I felt like they weren't like this. Almost feels like I'm watching like Looney Tunes back in action with Brendan Fraser. Like it gives that vibe, and I loved that movie as a kid. And
honestly, if you love this movie, I think you'd love Compound.
Yeah, we'll give a nice quick rec from Isaac.
You know what's another indie film, deep cut, that I haven't seen that I would love for us to watch? I think it's called 100 Beavers. I don't know if you've heard of it.
I heard about that.
It's a black and white film, slapstick comedy. It's like Looney Tunes style.
Didn't it just come out?
Yes, it was very recent, but I've heard nothing but good things about this.
We gotta
it's
check it out.
Indie film,
Beavers.
and it's very short, and I heard it's fantastic.
Hundreds of Beavers.
You got a 96 on Narnia.
Oh yeah, it's Hundreds of Beavers.
Hundreds of Beavers.
Nice. That's what.
It's not the beaver I was thinking about.
Yeah, speaking of the things that George tried to get this weekend, we're gonna
beaver pelts.
We're gonna move on to one of our favorite segments over here, getting into some of your guys' reviews. So let's get Letterboxd.
Also, if as you're watching this and you're thinking a movie to watch, do not watch the new Beverly Hills Cop movie. You'd be disappointed.
Axel Foley, it sucked.
Yeah, I think it sucked.
Man.
Yeah.
All right.
If you like any of
our... It was
straight
to Netflix. I mean, it was to be expected.
He was Dolomite was good.
Dolomite was good. I like Dolomite.
And I'm like, he had the potential to do Dolomite, and then this one was kind of like, He really... It basically just seemed
this was a check.
Yeah, it seemed like, I'm watching Beverly Hills Cop 1, but with this kid.
All right, so Letterboxd reviews on Kung Fu Hustle. All right, this one. Let's start low, and then we'll go high. Okay. This is by...
Wait, there's low.
I know, it's crazy.
Whose leg am I massaging?
All right, this guy, his name, I don't even know how to... it's just MBPM. Mbpm.
NordVPN.
They gave it a 3-star.
Wow, it's
Too silly and disjointed with a different energy for me to really rate it right now. Rate it high now. But it'll always have a special place.
Not with the 3 fucking rating.
No, it sounds like it's a rewatch.
I know.
It sounds like
they said it'll always have a special place for me since seeing it as a teen who didn't have a lot of other quite as fantastical martial arts films like it. Besides The Matrix.
Oh my god! What?
Huh?
I mean, I think The Matrix did take a lot of.
Yeah, but The Matrix
But
is not
if
a...
The Matrix is
But you know what?
Of martial arts
I think
is
Kung Fu
insane.
Hustle took from The Matrix though at the end.
Really?
Because when he's revealed as the one,
That's
what's
true.
he doing? He's beating the shit out of all these fucking X gang members.
No, you're right.
What did Neo do? He beat
You're
the
right.
shit out of all these fucking
Computer.
White
you
people.
know, yeah, all these agents.
I mean...
Beat the white people.
Yeah, but
and
anyway,
he was wearing white, so he became white.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
And they were wearing suits.
But 3 stars. So it's weird because like they obviously like it, but they kind of give it like a lower score.
I mean, I know some people are purists when it comes to martial arts movies, but like you gotta be able to enjoy the ones that are silly. Like some of them are silly like this. Some of them are silly like terrible acting. Like I'm sure Isaac, you've seen Never Back Down.
Oh yeah.
Fucking great. I love Michael J. White. Love him.
Oh,
and
it
was great.
and all
It was
his
good.
shit is so fucking overacted, but goddamn can that man sidekick. So
But I
doesn't matter.
I don't know why he keeps getting roles, honestly.
I mean, because he's
Michael
good
J.
at
White?
What? Yeah, he's
Michael
a
J. White is
killer
fucking great at fighting.
Bond.
He's
He-
phenomenal fighter.
I'm not saying he's not a phenomenal fighter. I'm just saying he's.
Oh yeah, his acting is
his acting
not great.
is
But that's when
Yeah, but-
you're not looking at him say something.
Yeah,
You're
it's
looking
like
at him
Arnold.
kick
It's not, his
Yeah,
acting
but
chops.
I know,
it's
but
like
that's like
his
his
action
biceps.
fucking
his
hero.
lickable biceps.
No, but I'm like, there's other like Johnny Adkins. I think is a.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, like if you're
You
gonna
mean
have fucking
Scott Adkins.
or that fucking guy. I feel like if you're gonna have Michael J.
Killer.
White or you're gonna have Scott Adkins, I'd rather choose Scott Adkins any other fucking day. Like,
I mean, I think yeah. There's
Wow.
there's
Back
a
to
lot
the
of
review. I think it's a little harsh.
yeah.
I'm like, I think that they
No, I
enjoyed it
agree.
at a certain point, and then like now you're just comparing it to different things. That it's
Yeah,
not.
not-
it's
not every
supposed to-
movie
It's not
can
meant to
be-
be The Matrix.
Not
you know?
everything needs to be Donnie
Yeah.
Yen. Not everything needs to be like fucking Jackie Chan like level of like serious
You know,
movies.
It is silly,
You
But-
gotta
but
enjoy both.
Here's
It's
the
in the
thing,
right
though.
way.
I think did we all see this as kids?
oh,
Because I saw it when I was
I
like
I saw
a
it
kid.
was as an adult.
I saw it in
Oh, really?
Telemundo.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
I only watched it as an adult. Actually, I think I watched it for the first
Interesting.
time with you guys, and then this is the second time.
We saw it
Actually-
together.
I think we watched it like casually, like
Oh,
on
interesting.
Sunday night.
I don't
Yeah.
remember that.
Yeah, I don't remember that either.
George, are you confusing
But-
this with the 1,000 other friends you have? You dick?
I don't really have a lot of.
But I'm
friends.
be honest with
It's
you
only
guys. I didn't have to rewatch
I
this
haven't
movie.
seen you in 3 weeks. Okay, asshole. We're not gonna talk
Guys,
about
and you
it.
recently saw it, or you remembered it that well?
I don't have to rewatch. Yeah, I didn't see it recently because I've seen this movie like 100 times.
I-
already.
Yeah,
It's
it's
hilarious.
fucking
Yeah,
great.
It's that good to me. You know, like,
It's phenomenal.
so fun. It's
Yeah,
it's fucking everything I need. You know.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
But yeah, and then jumping on that. So this one is by Sulia Leitu. 5 stars. I love goofy shit like this. Reminds me of the first time my dad put on Shaolin Soccer when I was 12, and my
Same
siblings
act?
and I rewatched that burned movie for 5 months straight.
Same director. Of course, you'd like Shaolin
Yeah.
Soccer.
And then they
Great
said
great take.
they said my biggest regret is watching this on a Delta flight at the age of 27 instead of on a box TV when I was 7.
Wow.
Damn, what a good movie.
What a
Yeah.
fucking classy person. That's class right there.
That's class right there.
That's what they don't make them like that anymore.
No.
Crazy.
They
No.
don't.
I know George is in class, but
All right, let's do this one's another 5-star by I don't even know how to say this. Skarsgård? I don't know. Fuck. This movie's made 20 years ago. It still is better than the movies made nowadays. It's
Facts.
humor, action, cinematography,
Facts.
music, story, and the actors they are world class.
They don't make them like they
5
used to.
stars.
It's
You
so
know,
silly and so good.
I can hear the soundtrack. I can hear the Axe Gang theme,
Dude,
and it's funny.
I can hear the guy going like this. No.
I can see butt cheeks.
You know what? Think about this too. We don't understand. Like, obviously, we don't speak Cantonese here, but we don't need to because
Is it
Was it-
Cantonese or Mandarin?
pretty sure it's Cantonese.
Can you look it up?
Yeah.
But like this movie is just memorable on its own through like I think it's simple acting that they do. You know, like they're just conveying these emotions and then all the action, whatever. Like we don't need to know what they're saying because I feel like if we could mute the fucking movie and we'll understand what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, actually, I was watching it on the way over
Right.
here, and I couldn't even read the subtitles because I was driving and doing other shit.
Oh, that was because you
And-
can't read.
No, that too, but it was still like you're watching what's
Just
going
listening
on
to talk
screen,
sometimes,
and you're just
crazy.
like, oh my god, like this is hilarious, despite like not understanding what the fuck they're saying because
Yeah.
it's really just visually
Well,
appealing and
I think
hilarious.
it's perfectly like
I think it's like me and Nick when we watch anime now. Like we don't even need to
yeah,
be seeing
sometimes because it's like physical acting is what it is.
It's
like-
comedy transcends barriers,
Yeah,
language
and
barriers.
you don't
'cause
have-
you don't really need.
well, whether
to
it's
know.
whether it's
does.
the action sections or it's the comedy sections, like they do so much with their facial expressions, with their mannerisms, with their hand gestures, like
Yeah.
like everything is so like silly and or serious.
Like-
when it needs to be.
I feel like they have like 10 Jim Carreys on that.
Oh,
cast.
dude, straight up.
Like the landlady, literally, like she's just pissed. Like I'm trying to fucking go to bed,
Yeah.
motherfuckers. Like you guys are having a fight out there.
Slapping
All
the
right,
shit out
I'll
of
end it
everybody.
myself. And then the
Yeah.
husband comes out. He's like, all right, you guys fucking dragged her out. Now we have to fucking
And
kick
just
your
start
ass.
throwing the chancla around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's legendary.
Amazing.
Absolutely.
All right,
All
next
right.
review.
All right, I'll have this be the last one. So
Last
this
review.
is by Mansick. All right, and they give it a 3.5 star, but I kind of like what they're saying. So they say, so hard to do good stylized genre, and this does it flawlessly. Kill Bill is a movie I love, but as I watch more Hong Kong kung fu films, I realize where it pales. Stephen Chow's a gift. I love that this leans so hard into goofiness. We need more of that. A dream of a movie. I would say if it's a boring Friday night and you're wanting to watch a fun movie with some friends, this is the one.
It is.
3.5 stars.
No, really.
That's such a good review, but 3 stars. That's like
You know, I think maybe it's too stylized.
You
for
know,
some people.
yeah.
now that we're gonna go to Havasu this weekend, and,
Right.
and we're gonna have a time.
After all these years,
I think we need to go watch. Let's watch a funny Bollywood movie. And
a
then
Bollywood
Hey,
movie.
dude, that might not be a
Because
bad
look, we've
idea.
already.
I've never seen a Bollywood.
Oh,
movie.
you've never
I've
seen?
never
But wow,
seen-
you're
Me
fucking.
neither.
gay.
How about
honestly.
Triple R? I mean, you didn't watch that one?
I've
Say it
never
out.
seen-
Say it out loud, man.
Triple R?
RRR. Come on, man. You don't
Is
say
it
RRR.
just RRR?
It's RRR.
It's RRR.
I don't know. Does it matter?
Dude.
When it got the Oscars, they called it RRR.
Yeah, I gotta watch this one. I haven't seen it either.
Okay, dude, like they are like. You guys need to watch like because now
Sounds like we will.
We reviewed Japanese movies. We reviewed Chinese now because Cantonese, Chinese.
We've done some Korean films.
Have we done Mexican?
We haven't done Spanish films. We should do some
That's
Spanish.
because we
dude,
hate Latinos.
No, you know what?
Oh, I know a lot. So okay.
You
What's
know-
the one that?
Hey, once upon a time in Mexico. Let's do that one.
Vida de Perros? What's the one that's like?
Amor Perros.
Amaro Perros. We should watch that one. I haven't
Or-
seen it.
I'd
I
rather
heard.
do
I heard.
Y tu
like,
mamá también.
oh,
Y tu mamá
yeah.
también.
Or a Hannah,
Y
like
la
a
tuya.
Hannah
Isn't that a Bad
movie?
Bunny song?
Oh,
Yeah.
some derbez.
Dude, that guy makes the saddest fucking movies and the funniest fucking.
I
movies.
know.
All right, but going back into
We're
this
traveling the world,
Bef-
boys.
before we get
Sure
to
are.
our things, to our ratings, I wanted to do one last thing. Influences from this film that we see today. Like I feel like this is such an iconic movie, and like, you know, I was seeing some of the facts that Andre was putting up on screen, and one of the things that mentions is the Axe Gang. But I was actually just kind of thinking about like literally really modern day stuff, and I don't know if you guys have seen Warrior, the show on HBO, but even like the fact that
Dude, that show's great.
it's great, and
Have you seen all
I've fully caught up, and
Fuck.
the axe,
I need to finish.
the
I haven't
game,
started it.
like one of the biggest tongs that they have in San Francisco at the time. Their main weapon is axe. They're fully dressed up the exact same way that this gang is. Like you can see that there's so many influences probably in realities of what actually happened in China around that time, of gangs taking over certain areas, but
Warlord
you can
and
see
shit.
similarities in how the kung fu is done. You can see similarities in how like the banter is. Is there any other movies
Do they
that
not
you
have
guys?
guns or?
Well, back in the day, I
They're
mean,
expensive.
not the common folk.
Yeah,
You know?
but they're a gang. What are they doing? Are they
Well,
not making money?
Well, the problem is, I mean, you have to think
It's a
about
bad gang.
there's a lot of places in the world where having a gun will get you locked up, but
True,
having a
true.
hatchet won't. So, what
Safe.
about you guys? Do you guys see any
Valid
other,
point.
or can you guys think of any other movies? Not to put you guys too much on the spot.
I mean, you know,
Any other media that has been so influenced by this?
Shang-Chi, man.
Shang-
Shang-Chi.
Oh, yeah, with the rings,
With
too.
the rings. They totally changed his power set, you know. to-
Oh yeah, instead of having
Which
it
I think was a lot better.
it was very cool.
And that character in Kung Fu
How-
Hustle was badass.
How do you guys feel about that Shang-Chi as a movie?
I think
I
I
thought
liked
it
it
was
a lot.
phenomenal.
It was
I liked
good.
I loved it.
I don't like the
Yeah.
ending very
I didn't
much
like
because it
Awkwafina.
turned. Well,
It got a little too cheesy. Towards the
yeah,
end
I got
for
too
me.
much CGI, but I like the whole father-son
It
did.
relationship.
And now this is I'm kind of passionate about this. What do you guys think as Awkwafina as an actor?
I haven't
It's
seen her
not
do
good. Not
anything
a
good,
fan.
but I haven't seen everything that she's done.
Yeah,
If you've seen Crazy Rich Asians, have you
I
seen?
hated Crazy Rich Asians.
Wow, you're
I actually liked it.
it was
he's
just
not a
really good.
crazy rich Asian, so he.
Fuck
That's why he hates. He
Yeah.
envies them. And he's like, la maldita pobreza.
Why are they all prettier than me?
Their skin is flawless. Okay.
I just couldn't relate.
Yeah,
Oh.
actually, I could. Funny
Wow,
enough.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
All right, but what about
Crazy.
you guys? Did you guys find anything you guys see
I mean,
that
off the
relates to this?
dome, I mean, I can see how it has an influence, but off the dome, I can't think of an
Yeah,
example.
I think this movie just like is so in its own like
Yeah.
place in history that I can't see any other movies even coming close. They may try to imitate it at any point. I don't know, right? But like, because I'm not a movie historian like Andre and Alexis when it comes to this type of stuff, or even sometimes you can look up the facts. Like, it's so particular. It's shot in such a way that I haven't seen any other movie, and that's maybe my lack of watching type of movies like this that are shot from China and stuff like that, or other places.
It's definitely a Chinese film.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get an American guy doing this kind of thing.
And the Chinese go for it. They go hard when it comes to
do.
the stunts.
And I think they're okay with being a little campy too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They're not embarrassed by that sort of shit.
I'm thinking the Raid, but I'm not sure if that came like around the same time.
Raid was
or
like in the
after.
90s, dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No, Raid was in the fucking mid 2000s, bro.
Was it?
2010s, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
so it came after. So I feel like that has.
How does
some-
the Raid-
But I don't know. No, I wouldn't say the Raid is any.
I'm trying to picture it, but
No.
Like for me, like a
That's
lot.
not the movie.
Even
That is the
even
movie.
honestly,
yeah,
but
that's the one.
for me,
It's
even
not the
thinking
Korean-
about
it's not the
movies
Korean
like
one, is
The
it?
Raid.
like Inglorious Bastards, like Django, like movies where you could tell like they took very serious
Yeah, I didn't
settings,
even
very
look Korean.
serious topics, and very like action-filled movies,
Yeah.
and made them funny,
Yeah.
made them
Well,
like,
it's
incorporate.
it's
like,
funny you mentioned those films because I think Tarantino's a big fan of Chinese martial arts film, and I
Absolutely.
bet
Yeah.
he loves Kung Fu. I think he shows
Heavily
Kung Fu
influenced.
Hustle at his New Beverly cinema. I think
Yes.
so he's definitely a fan of this.
you
Hey,
could
you know
see,
what?
yeah.
You know what we should do one day? I think we should just like for like a whole year try to go to the New Beverly Center and see if he comes out and try to get him on the podcast.
He has his own podcast.
Yeah, he's,
Dude, I've been to the New Bev so many times last year, and I never once saw him. Never.
Hey,
Shame.
does he even come out? I feel like he just owns it. He's like,
He's
why
just
am I?
the owner.
Why am I gonna?
You never, he likes
You never
watching-
know.
You never know.
Maybe
You
he's in the
never
back.
know.
Maybe we go like.
So we're gonna go every day for a year.
So now you want to go to LA and watch a movie, huh?
Hey, he said he would.
Now you want to do that. Okay.
Alexis, you basically live over there because
Yeah.
you work,
Yeah,
so it's
whatever.
not fair.
You're trying to move.
All right,
over there,
guys.
You fucking slut. Trying to leave
Ratings.
Orange County.
Maybe I will.
Trying to leave. You're trying to go to dirty ass LA County.
I just want to be close to those movie theaters, bro.
Bro, we just gotta move to Atlanta or something. It's the new Hollywood.
Dude,
It's the new Hollywood. Let's be honest.
It's the new Hollywood. All right, guys, ratings time. I want to hear from. Let's see, Isaac. Usually you don't get to go first, so let's start with you. What do you think? What was this movie for you?
I give this a certified.
Holy shit, that's a whole ass
That's
10.
a Hawk tour
That's
right
a whole
there.
ass 10.
Hog two.
Wow.
I think it's
Actually,
a
you
10.
didn't even spit on it.
Yeah,
I don't need to with
He
these
went
lips.
straight for
Baby
it.
girl, have you seen these lips? I don't need to spit.
Baby girl. All right, George. Baby girl. What you got?
I loved it. Fantastic. No complaints. Give it a 9. It's
9.
good.
Okay.
Solid.
That's crazy.
Solid 9. We like it. What about you,
That's
Alexis?
crazy. Dude, I've rated this on Letterboxd full 5 stars, like since the fucking beginning, man. It's
Yeah.
always been a 10 for me. Always.
Yeah.
You're
It's,
fucking weird if you don't like. This movie's supposed to be this fucking dumb. Like,
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you ever get nervous that we give things too high? You know, sometimes there's that little voice in the back of my head that tells me, and right now I'm telling that voice, fuck off. This is a 10.
Yeah, no.
This is a 10.
And just because a movie's a 10, that rated by most of us, if even a 9 is great, honestly, doesn't mean that you guys shouldn't watch this.
Fucking
Watch this fucking movie.
George really
It's-
fucked it for us, though, because now we're on an average of 9.75.
Hey, you know what? We'll still give it a 5.
Yeah, it's still 5
Look,
stars.
it's not for everyone. Like, I mean, but I loved it.
Hey,
And
Yeah.
Let's see.
And-
I think
not,
it's
it would be a perfect
whether
10.
you like it or not. Like, and you rated a 3, a 4, or whatever you fucking rated. Can we all agree this is a movie we can watch and just have a silly
Yes.
good time?
Yeah.
If you haven't
Silly
watched
goose
it,
time.
you need to watch it. Grab some
Absolutely.
popcorn, grab a loved one, have a
Yeah.
good fucking silly
turn
goose
your
time.
brain off,
Just-
turn on your just fucking eyes.
Look,
to just absorb.
it's hot. It's the summer. You turn on your AC. You get yourself a cold ass ice cream
Ooh.
and
Yeah.
and a torta maybe.
You
Yeah.
no, you
And
go to
both
your
meanings
local
of the
ice cream
word.
lady, you steal ice cream and money from her,
And a lollipop.
slap her across the face, and then you go.
and then you throw king signs.
Yeah, we do not consent to hitting women, men, anybody. This
Except
is-
George.
Except George.
Yeah.
He learns with the booze.
Yeah, but I think this is one of those rare films that we all kind of give it a really high score.
You give it a
No.
Yeah, I give it a lot.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for potting with us, you guys. Make sure you guys follow us on all our social medias, interact with us, engage with us. We'd love to hear from you guys about anything, whether you like it, dislike it. If you have any comments, suggestions,
Tell us your personal
And
problems.
honest,
Yeah.
and hey,
give us suggestions.
and the gift is still out there for anybody that's willing to take it.
You heard him.
Buddy.
All
Talk
right.
to us. We know you movie people are out there.
We
Come
know
on,
it.
find us.
Find us, you weirdos.
All right, guys. This has been 4 guys.
One cock.
film.
Damn
It's alright. Nobody listened to it then. Anyway, it's fine.
it. They never get to the end.
Michelle does. She gets an edit.